EU, we don't recognize Lukashenko as legitimate president.
Here's a summary of the article.
The European Union does not recognize Alexander Lukashenko as the legitimate president of Belarus, the bloc's diplomatic chief said on Tuesday, a day after the embattled leader was welcomed by Russian President Vladimir Putin. Lukashenko has faced huge protests against his rule since the disputed ballot and widespread condemnation from the international community for a brutal crackdown on demonstrators by his security forces. We don't recognize Lukashenko as the legitimate president of Belarus. The EU has already said it does not recognize Lukashenko's re-election as legitimate and is in the process of preparing sanctions against those responsible for rigging the vote and cracking down on protests. Borrell said more than 7,500 peaceful protesters have been detained and 500 cases of torture have been documented. On Monday, Russia agreed to a $1.5 billion loan with Minsk. President Putin said at talks with Alexander Lukashenko, adding that the Belarusian people should resolve the crisis without foreign interference. Putin said he thought a proposal by Lukashenko to carry out constitutional reform was logical and timely.
This post received a score of 9,700, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I mean, I usually love this bot, but this summary repeats the same line that is already in the title of the article 3 times. Isn't it exactly the kind of thing it's supposed to avoid? The article also mentions the scale of the protests, documented cases of torture, Cyprus blocking this notion due to conflict with Turkey, and a few other things weirdly missing from this TLDR.
Change some words and don't make it obvious. Sure thing. The European Union does not recognize Alexander Lukashenko as the legitimate president of Belarus. We don't recognize Lukashenko as the legitimate president of Belarus. The EU has already said it does not recognize Lukashenko's re-election as legitimate.
Good. You shouldn't.
Eastern Europe is fucking strange, man.
In the general society, individual liberty and responsibility has no value and very few desire it. Sad to be the minority here. Finally from EU.
Not a single EU country has accepted the election, and through that hasn't accepted Luka as the president. As much as I hate to say it, apart from putting more sanctions on people in the government, the West can't really do much. Hell, even that doesn't really matter because all those corrupt fuckers always have backups in Russia, China and elsewhere. Meanwhile, almost every EU country has a major problem ATM, there's Brexit, COVID, etc.
The EU is a very soft political power and very strong economic one. The focus has always been on economic integration over social and political integration. Our regional process for political agreement and designed to be slow and inclusive of everyone's needs. It's why council members still have a veto on any policy goal decision.
The radio silence on Orban in Hungary is deafening.
Lukashenko will have some vodka and sauna and laugh this off, and then call his buddy Vladimir and laugh some more. The problem is that EU, NATO is effectively defunct with the UK and the US abandoning, and it scares the shit out of me.
Greater than problem is that EU, NATO is effectively defunct with the UK and the US abandoning. Biggest load of shite I've ever heard.
Majority of US citizens have same opinion o Trump.
I can think of another one who should never have been recognized. It's funny how this recognition is highly dependent upon how much power is held by the subject of recognition.
Who are you talking about? Russia.
Questions remain. Then whom they recognize as a president? What they'll do practically to not recognize him? Is he a subject for international crimes of stealing a country? Are Russian people aware Putin gave more than $1 billion of their money to a crime syndicate which is being led by a non-legitimate person in Belarusian government?
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.